All right, ladies and gentlemen, so this is a reminder video on how to factor the long way. I know it was a long spring break, so a couple of you wanted to see a video on how to do it the long way. So the long way needs to happen when we have anything that's not a 1 in front here. So this value is a 3. It'd be nice if we could divide them all by 3, but we can't here, right? With a 3, a 7, and a 20. We're not going to be able to factor these without we can't factor a 3 out of these. So we do need to do this long way. Remember, the long way says we take our front number 3 and we multiply it by our back number 20. Negative 60 belongs in the top of my chunk, and then the bottom is still your b value. That middle value is 7 here. Okay, so we're getting the top number. Actually going to do the front times the back to get that, but we're still going to try and find factors of negative 60 that add together to be 7. So that's the plan. So you can run through, and we're just looking for things that are going to be negative 60. Remember, if they multiply to be a negative, one's going to be a positive value and one's going to be a negative value. And we know that they're going to add to be a positive 7. So our bigger number is going to be 7 here. So you can just kind of go down the line if you need to. Obviously, negative 1 and 60 would work, but that adds to be 59. That's not going to work for us. Negative 2 and 30, negative 3 and 20. And what actually works, well, and then negative 5. Yes, what actually works for us is negative 5 and positive 12. So negative 5 and positive 12. Negative 5 times 12 is negative 60, and then negative 5 plus 12 will give me that positive 7 here. So these are my two values that work, and these are the two values we're going to use. You can write them in this planner, but technically it doesn't really matter if you put them in here or not. The important part is we're going to go use those to replace the 7a with those two values. So we're going to take these and we're going to plug them in. Instead of 7a, we're going to say minus 5a and plus 12a. And everything else just stays the same. So the 20 drops, the 3a squared drops. The only thing we replace is we turn these two, this 7a into a negative 5a and a positive 20a. Cool. Because now what we can do is we can factor by grouping. I can chunk these two out. And I can say, what can I divide both 3a squared and negative 5a with? Well, we'll divide each of those by a as our greatest common factor. If I steal an a from each of those, I just have 3a minus 5. What's the greatest common factor? The second chunk, these two, what can go into both 12 and negative 20? That would be a positive 4. And if we take out 4, we have 12 divided by 4 is 3a, and negative 20 divided by 4 is negative 5, which is important because you'll notice that these two things match, which has to be the case. So because they do, we know we factored them right, and we can put our two factors down. So the stuff that came out of each is going to be one factor, a plus 4. And then the inside stuff that already matches needs to be the other factor, 3a minus 5. Cool. So this is our final answer here. But remember, if you're doing the new stuff, you'll actually have it equal to 0, and then you could set each of these out equal to 0. So that's kind of the new step. But this is just a reminder video on how to factor out with the leading coefficients. So hopefully that helped. You can buzz back through if you need to. The only other thing that you need to make sure you do if you're factoring, if this is ever negative right here, if this fourth term when you're doing that is negative, you got to take the negative out. But that should make sense. Otherwise, your numbers won't work. So, yeah. Let me know if you have any questions. I may be able to answer some emails or anything, but for the most part, I won't be. So, have a great day, and I'll see you in a week.